what's fun about this is, you know how like people like the issue with social media at the moment, or for the last couple of years, is everyone paints this picture of this like perfect lifestyle, right? And that's actually what I like about this, is the fact that it's, you know what, you're gonna see the good, bad, the ugly kind of thing. And knock on wood, we are very blessed that it's not ugly. So it's, but hopefully what people see is it's not ugly because it takes work, right? And it takes planning, and it takes, prime example, it takes, if I want to be able to do stuff like this, and I want to spend time with you and talk about how we're gonna roll this out, you know, it's getting up at 6 o'clock, making sure I'm getting my time in, making sure I'm getting the family time in, and then ironically, my time is my own. But it's people that get up at like 11 o'clock, don't help with the kids, don't communicate their plans, and then just want to bugger off and do their own thing. Well, I wonder why it doesn't work, right? It just circles back to put in the time, put in the work, and wow, everything just smooth. So we've gone for this like downtown, if anyone's ever been to downtown Vancouver, you're paying way too much money for a box. So it was literally this 700 square foot box, but it was 2 buildings off of Denman and like a block and a half from the beach. So like the girls would go, and Piper's walked on the beach on the ocean at 22 months than most kids will in their lives, kind of thing. And that's what we liked, but it just didn't make sense. Like it's too small, not where we used to. So now we're in a position where we can have a house up here, and it's funny, there's something to be said about serenity and like quality of sleep. We were going to bed at the same time frames, but my focus and energy and the rate at which I can stay in the zone is like quadrupled. And it just goes back to like quality of sleep. Like you wouldn't believe it because it's so quiet. Fun fact, I have no idea what kind of trees those are. I've never seen trees that grow straight to the ground, even on concrete.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If anyone knows what those are, like please tell me. I'd be dying to know. Like I seriously have no idea. Like what tree? You know what it looks like? And I've never done marijuana in my life. It looks like a bud. Like it looks like the world's biggest bud from the pictures I see anyways. I really have never ever done weed in my life. I've never done anything in my life, actually.
You've obviously pictured this happening. What is it like now that it's happening?
It's weird. I'll be honest, I'm up in my own head, making sure that I'm like legitimately authentic. And so far I have been 100%, but we'll cross here. I have been conscious of like weird things. Like I've been conscious of like how do I sound, or like how am I coming off, because that would defeat the purpose of all this. So I'm not worried about that. It's more like enunciate, and sometimes I can be a lazy speaker, right? So and then every time I'll be like I'm like, well, don't say I'm like, yeah, but this is the real stuff, right? So I'm not sweating it. The only thing that I need to get more used to, obviously, is I feel like I have to keep talking, and I have to feel like, oh crap, I should be imparting some sort of wisdom right now. And it's like, yeah, but it's like you said, it's been half an hour. It's I'm sure we'll get there, and you being my partner in crime, I'm sure you'll pull this out of me eventually. And then when we pass people, I haven't done that yet, so it's like, how weird is that going to be? Do I say hi? Because I'm really not a hi person. Yeah, stuff like that. Good question. The mind-blowing thing is that our best ideas come in the shower, because it's the one place we're not distracted. And like, it's funny because I'll love the fact that I get the idea, but then it's almost like I'll scold myself as well, because it's almost like a shame on you moment, because you're like, look at this, you isolate yourself for 10 minutes and you get all your brain power back. Like, if that doesn't make you think about how bad we're screwing ourselves up and how much we're limiting our creativity and our ideas and our hustle and everything, it's like, yeah, it's really, really sad that if you just put down your phone and you don't even have an option to touch it, there's no music, there's no people talking in the background, you're actually alone with your thoughts. Turns out this mind thing is pretty powerful. So yeah, it's funny. I had one of those moments this morning when I was thinking about the video, and then just the simple fact of like, man, I could just think so clearly. Like, I wonder if I could do a business meeting from the shower. Audio only, obviously, because I've always been so forthcoming with it. I don't have any illusions of grandeur where I'm like, I made me. I've always been very open with them to say like, look, man, I am literally one of your students. The only difference is I've actually applied everything, and I stopped consuming your comment or your content because it was exactly what you always hoped for. your own words. I hope one day that people stop watching me because that means they've actually learned enough to go do what I've been trying to get them to do. There's literally me. Like, I couldn't tell you the last like 2 years of his stuff, and it's not that I'm not a huge fan. I'm an absolutely huge fan. I'm living it, you know. So hopefully down the road that leads to, if we get big enough, he'll be like, hey. It started with Centum as a mortgage broker, as an agent, like just an agent working for another broker, to a franchisee and running my own shop, to expanding that to 3 different shops. And at one point in rural Manitoba, we're doing almost $100 million in mortgage volume. And it's not that there was like some Rubik's Cube to figure out, it was just work. But it was work every damn day. And then and it was understanding the process and loving the process and just going in every day, leaning into the process, and writing down an idea and then just moving towards it every single day, even if it was just a tiny step. And yeah, if anyone's thinking they can't do it, rural Manitoba, now I'm running the entire organization. Tell me again there's no such thing as can't.
And then I've also learned that if you get a privacy screen, we as humans are broken. Everyone automatically thinks that you must be a pervert and you must be looking at bad stuff all the time. They don't factor in that maybe you work in finance and you've got important, sensitive information on your phone that you don't want the person next to you on the flight or sitting beside you at the airport reading. You instantly go to it. I almost feel like we're on Cribs. And like, okay, we're gonna look at our fridge. Yeah, maybe we don't want to do that. My wife would kill me. It's weird how everything we talk to, maybe because I'm super self-aware of it because we're doing these videos or whatever, but you know, the same 5 meals a day lends itself to the process, right? And like consistency and everything else. And it's funny how almost every single thing in your life you want to do requires that. It's no secret. Like, you don't know where you're going if you don't have a map, but then once you have a map, you have to follow those directions. And if you follow those directions day in and day out, guess what? You're gonna get to where you want to go. And the diet, begrudgingly, from the bodybuilding days is the same thing. It's like well, why piss and moan about it? Like, just shut up, do it, eat it, because you know what? The desired result is at the end. So it's wake up, wash, rinse, repeat. Wake up, wash, rinse, repeat. So same with talking about re-engineering your, having to re-engineer and self-audit yourself every now and then. So, and lending itself to a continuous.
Yeah, well, you know, the combination of better sleep, which I totally took for granted. I was always going to bed for 8 hours, but like the quality of sleep was garbage. So between the fresh mountain air, I don't know if you can notice the difference, but the air quality is like amazing up here. The quality of sleep, because it's just so much, it's so quiet. And then the aspect of like just taking time for like mental health and the serenity of this. Like, even if you get this stairwell, like this is this starts to head into like hiking land, and it is amazing. It's we will get everyone on a hike, I'm sure, at some point. But these are giant steps, so I don't want you to fall to your death. It'd be a great gag reel if you survive. It's just the like just taking a deep breath and just taking it in. It's so lush and green. I feel like I'm always at the lake, like at the cabin kind of thing. And it just lends itself to the fact that we don't take enough time taking care of ourselves. And something so simple as just moving and being out in this kind of serenity is just so healing to the mind and the body. Yeah, this was definitely a lesson in just taking better care of yourself, and that doesn't have to mean a crazy regimen. It's just like sometimes just a total change of environment changes absolutely everything. Now, which way do we go?